welcome from me. My name is Achim Sturner and I'm the product manager for E3 series and responsible for Smart Cabinet Building Initiative at Zuken. So today I will show you some new features in the E3 series expert interface for a even smarter control cabinet production. Just a few words about the initiative for all of you who is new in this webinar. The initiative is was founded from 4 partners. In the meantime, we are 5 companies. It's Weidmüller Interface, the Comax, Zuken, Armbruster Engineering, and the Invent Hoffman Group. And together we have some solutions, or we provide you some solutions for the present and your future challenges of cabinet building. For today, the topic is the interfaces from the digital twin to your machinery. Can be the fully automated machinery or the semi-automated or some assisted workplaces, and we have developed some new features in the last half year, and I want to give you an overview about some new features. So let's start with our tool E3 Cutout. This is our tool to export drawings or DXF files for cutout drawings. The most typical machines have an interface to import those cutout drawings via DXF, and that's for us a neutral format. Neutral means it is independent of the manufacturer of the machine and as well as the technology of the machine. So this works on the punching machines as well as on milling or laser or drilling or something else if you do it by hand. So this is a neutral format. It is adjustable with the layers, so you can export individual design to the layers the machine needs. And the new feature, or one of the new features, is that we now have a full support of multiple mounting plates. If you have some components who are placed on more than one mounting plate, it was a little bit tricky to get that in our old versions, but with the actual released version 22.1, now we have I think a smooth support of these functionality. So you can select in your panel such a mounting plate, and it is independent if there are components or rails or ducts or something else overlapping those mounting plates. They are all drawn or exported in this DXF file correctly, and not more and not less. So this is new, and as well it's new that we have now a full support of the threaded hole definition for dynamically length adjustable components like mounting rails and cable ducts. Within these drill hole definition tab in the device properties, you can define all the necessary data, and as well if you place this component or this device on a mounting plate, what should be done. Is this a threaded hole or a normal drilling? And with this definition, now you get the drill hole definition on the DXF. So now we can define this for normal devices as well as for dynamically length adjustable devices. In the other tool, the export to COMAX tool, this is the interface for full automatically manufacturing of wire bundles, sequenced bundles containing different types of wires with different types of labeling or marking on the wire, with different types of wire end processing, and with a perfect sorting. And in this interface, we made also some enhancements. Two enhancements are for the also for basic data, also for the wiring cockpit tool. We have a nice correlation between those tools, so they interact together, so that you really have a perfect match between the production on the COMAX machine. So the sequence of the production is one-to-one to the sequence you get in the wiring cockpit. And for that, if we make some enhancements in the wiring cockpit, we also have to support this in the export to COMAX interface. And there was two enhancements. One was the full support of the wire color, so that this is not only be written, so this is also now shown in the right color. And the other one is if you use internal device designations, then you can also export them now via the export to COMAX interface. And the third enhancement is a so-called, I don't know if there is a regular name, I call it also this info wire. So this is just one additional wire on the beginning of each bundle. This is not a wire for connecting any devices. It's just a wire for with some information, for example, the project name and the production date or something else, to help you identify these bundle. Sometimes in your logistics, it can be happen that the produced bundles, if you have 10, 100,000 bundles, then there sometimes they get a little bit out of order or something else, and you see a bundle laying somewhere. Then with this identify with this info wire, you have a much faster way to identify to which project and which cabinet this bundle has to be. A little bit known for the wiring cockpit. This is our famous tool for the paperless production of cabinets, for the wiring, paperless wiring of the cabinets. It supports various types, automation levels. So at the beginning, it was developed for wiring from the coil. So if you have typically all your wires laying on your workplace, and you have a manual production of the wire ends and the labeling, and do everything manual by hand. This is really also a support that you get all the necessary information. You can see it here on the right type part of this window. You see where the source is and the destination, which wire, the length, and so on. If there are any wire end, then you see the article number of the wire end processing. So all the data that helps the worker to create this wire, and with the optical way, with the highlight, he can also see very fast from where to where he has to wire it. So this is from the coil. You need all the information, and you have it. You don't need any other lists or paper or something else. You have all the information in the wiring cockpit. The next automation level is such semi-automatic wire processing machines, like from Weidmuller. Then you get automatically the length, the correct length, cut it, and we have a semi-automatic way to do the wire end processing. This is also supported. Then maybe some parameters are not so important, because the length is automatic cut it, but just for information, or for you see it. As well as if you get such pre-assembled bundles with all done, all the labeling is done, and the wire end processing is done, then you just need the information from where to where, if you get such a bundle from the Comax machine. And as well, because that's the normal life, this also in combination, because if you have maybe a Comax machine and 80% of your wires coming from the Comax machine with the sequenced bundles, then you have normally some more wires with higher cross sections, or very small cross sections you can produce on the Comax machines. Then you have to do them from the coil or something else. So it's always a mix, and with this tool it is perfectly supported also if you have a combination of this. It's also a touch screen, so you don't need a mouse. You can use it on a touch monitor, or in this case, this photo, it is a laptop with touch, so, or on a tablet, you can use it. And the new features for that is that we enable now the new developed highlight panel path. This is very powerful highlight, especially if you have complex cabinets or complex routing paths. If you have really 3D cabinet, starting the wire from the left side on the front, going up to to the roof, and there on the other side back and so on. So if you have very complex routing paths, it is sometimes not possible to have it on one sheet, yeah, because if this wire goes out of this cabinet to another cabinet and in the other cabinet from the back side or something else, then it is not possible to show this in one picture or in one view. So then normally use our 2D views for cabinets. And with this highlight panel path, all the necessary pages the wire goes is automatically opened, and the path is highlighted. It is zoomed into this area where the path is. It is maybe, if it is 3D, it is the projection is try to be ideal to see it. So this highlight panel path is a very powerful feature, especially if you have complex routing paths. And this is now fully supported here in the wiring cockpit. Then as well, if you don't, if you not only have panel in your project, or maybe you have form boards as well in your project, then you can now possible to control it if you want to export really all wires or only the panel wires, because maybe the production for panel wires is in a different place for the form board wire. So you have the possibility to separate those different types of wires. And as well, if you have complex routing paths, then maybe it is such an wire is wired in 2 steps. Maybe there is a pre-assembly of for example, for a door of a control cabinet, and then maybe only the source or only the destination of the wire is has to be wired in this step, because then the door is transported to the final assembly where it is married with the cabinet, and then just in this second step you have to do the other type of the other end. And so it is possible to check in the middle here the complete wire as done, or if you need this, that you can say, okay, I only can process now one of the both ends, then it is also possible to check just one end, then it is okay for this step. And if you open the file in the final assembly, then all the wires who are only done with one end, you get all the list to check those, or to wire, to process also the second end. So this is also a nice feature supported with the version 2020.00. And as mentioned in the export to Comacs, the old feature was that we have some here, sorry for the German language, for the German screenshot, but this is the name of the color, dark blue or red. This was the existing function, and now the wire color, it was in the old versions, it was only in a light gray. You have to see the color in this naming, and now we have also a visible color in this wire, so this is much easier to understand and to see. The blue is really blue. The blue wire is shown in blue. And not really new feature, because this interface export to ELAM was released in for the Hanover Fair in April. Maybe some of you know it. Maybe a lot of you doesn't know it, so I want to give it some minutes to present here. We have these assisted workplaces from Armbruster Engineering for the final assembly of the cabinet or of the mounting plate, and this is a nice tool to help you with step by step instructions, as well, in combination with some pick to place functionality. So if you have to sorry, missing word. If you have to manufacture these mounting plate, then this is going hand by hand. So you see it here in a little bit in the animation. You get always step by step the device. You have a highlight here in your workplace where to pick this device. Then you have here a beamer projecting to your mounting plate, that then you can see in a highlighted way where to place it, and then you have to mount it, and then you do check and so on. Then the next pick to place is highlighted, take it, projection, and very easy and comfortable way of doing the final assembly of a cabinet or mounting plate. And this sequence, or this step-by-step instruction for cabinets normally have at the end just one. There are not 20 of the same cabinet, so it is really a need to be efficient to create this step-by-step instruction automatically, and E3 can do this job for you. So we know in E3 all the devices, all the naming, the device designation, the article name, the manufacturing, some preview photos. We have all the information in E3, and we have a sequence because we know the order, what is on the back and what is mounted on what, and we need this information, or we use this information to do this sequence. You have also a simulation that you can see here in this animation. Okay, start with the terminal rail and the other one, then the cable ducts, always from left top to right bottom. Then use the other components or the other devices. If there is a device plugged on a device, so we always do this in the first level, and then you can see it now. It's the next level on the top right. Here there was some contactors, then the plugs on these frequency converters and so on. So, and this is automatically done. You can define if you have some pre-assembled parts, you can define them as pre-assembled. So this is then just one step in the final assembly. As you can see on the top left terminal rail, this maybe comes pre-assembled from the rail assembler. Then just one click and the whole is pre-assembled terminal rail is done. So this is really also a very nice tool and no additional effort, just define what is pre-assembled. All others, it's done with your digital twin. No extra work for you. So really nice tool in combination with this ELAM workplace. And another tool, also not brand new, but also maybe for some of you still unknown, because normally we only present this in the automotive area, so for form boards, but it works as well for cabinets, as you can see here in this example. This is our smart cabinet building demo case, and the tool is especially for service. Maybe you have some other use cases as well, but it's perfect for the service. If you have an error or something else and you have to find this error, and then you can start at each component or each device. You think, oh, with this device something it's wrong, then you can start, and by pressing on the pins, all the connected other devices, the connection itself and the other devices added dynamically, and so you can really see very fast all such a path to the end, or to the back to the others, to the other components, and so well. So it's really done dynamically. You only see what you are really interested, and on a short overview. If you have a normal typical schematics, these connections maybe are drawn on 5 different pages with cross-reference symbols and so on. So it's maybe not perfect for service, and in this case you have always individual. You can highlight or open some additional information about the devices, or you can see it where it is located in the panel, in the cabinet, and so on. And if you say, okay, I need another starting point, it just enter the new device designation and can start by the other point. So very, very powerful. If you are interested in, we have also a so-called test drive page. You can go on our homepage and to this E3 connectivity browser evaluation, just register, it's for free. And then we have some examples for you, one with the cabinet and one with the form board, and some others where you can really do some live experience. You can click it, not just a video, you can really test it. It's easy to use and I think very powerful. Maybe not for you in person, but maybe for your colleagues in your company. It's also no additional work for you if you have your digital twin in E3. Just an export, and you can use this in the connectivity browser solution. So maybe some of you have some infrastructure of in your shop floor on in your development, and maybe you can say, yeah, okay, our wire list I do not do with E3, I do it with an Excel, and our mechanical drawings, we do with AutoCAD, or we have here a tool, we have there a tool, and my colleague Mr. X, he is very fast in doing this, and the other one is doing the other one, and so on. That's all good. It's possible, but I'm a really a fan of one source, one digital twin, um, and not having 5 different systems with 5 different files and so on. So typical use case, maybe all of you know this or something similar. Last minute change because the customer now knows where he has to place his machine, the machine, and also the control cabinet, and then he says, oh, on the right side it's not possible because there's something else with the collision. Please put the connector for any external device from the right side to the left side. Yeah, if you have designed this all in E3 and with E3-panel, it's just a small change. You do the connector drag and drop from the right side to the left side. It's automatically, if you can place this on the other side, we have done the collision check, so this fits, that's automatically checked. All the connected wires of this connector are rerouted. If there is no collision with any fill degrees or something else, then everything is fine. If not, you get a feedback that something you have to adjust as well, yeah? Increase the cable duct or something else, and it's so you have a perfect definition of your new place of the connector, and then the design is finished. And then you just have to press your, depends on the change. In this case, you have to export a cutout, because on the left side you need a additional cutout and maybe for additional drillings. You have to export the data for the Comax, for the wire processing machines, but you have all the information in E3, and the sorting, the algorithm is automatically done, the versioning, and as well, if you use this, for example, this export to ELAM, it's just one click for each system. You can export it. The data is perfect fit. You don't have to make any additional changes, sorting, filtering, and something else. Just export, import, produce, finish. And you can use it also for other types like the service and so on. So I think doing a digital twin, maybe yes, at the first time it's a little bit hard work if you do it, but then with each project you do, you are getting faster, you are getting more familiar with it, and all the exports are just clicking. So you reduce really lots of work by doing and converting and saving and something else. So it's very easy. And you know, I'm a fan of a digital twin, one digital twin containing all the information. So then at the end, nearly at the end, some advertising for upcoming live shows. There are two on our calendars at the end of October at Comax, but you can also get there. You don't have to be a Comax customer. So if you are interested in that, in our smart cabinet building solutions, we have a booth in this Wire Pro Expo, showing all our machinery. So the from Whitemiller, the rail assembler and the rail laser are at the booth. From Invent Hoffman, the mod center is on the booth. Elam workplace is on the booth. We have our E3 and our exports interfaces and Comax machines as well. So you can see all the machines and all the interface really live, producing. It's, I think, very impressive to see this really in live and in color, not only by some webinars and videos. So you use this to see all the interaction of all the cabinet automation tools. And the other expo is the Smart Production Solution in Nuremberg. You can find Suken in the Hall 6 on booth 330. The partners, some of, not all of the smart cabinet building partners are on the fair. You can find Weidmüller and Comax and us, and Armbruster is also on our booth. You can also mark this in your calendar. And the next webinar is at the 30th of November. It's also Wednesday. And the topic is some news from Steinhauer about mechanical machining with the mod center and the NC-CAD. If you are new here, we had a lot of webinars in the past 1.5 years. So I think it is maybe about 20 webinars in the archive. You can all watch them. If you are interested, just go on our homepage, Smart Cabinet Building, on the Suken homepage, and there you can just register. It's for free, and can watch all the archived webinars we have done in the past 1.5, 2 years for different topics. Also, maybe you have some interested colleagues who are not in this webinar but interested in these topics, because we have topics more interested for developers, and we have topics more interested for the persons in the shop floor. So it depends. So distribute this information. So, and if you have some questions, I show now in the questions of the GoToMeeting, there is no question at the moment. So if you want to contact somebody, if you have some questions to Comax and all the others from the others companies, you can see here the contact persons, or contact me, and I will forward it. So we want to help you if you have some needs. For that, I'm at the end of the presentation, and thank you for your audience, and see you in the Ericon at the Comax via Pro Expo, or in Nuremberg at the SPS, or we can hear you in one of the next webinars. So see you, have fun, and bye bye. Keep healthy.